My name is Oshifes Larry. I'm a mechanic. Welcome to Exxon F1, also known as from Lawan, Colombo, Africa. Welcome to Qatar, a beautiful city that you're going to love. And there has been a lot of modifications. They've really worked on what can impede you from coming to this beautiful city, including Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi. So I think these people have really worked their way out, copied what UAE are doing to embrace people, embrace culture, open their hands out to people, to come in and love them and see what their culture brings to people and what people tend to gain from them. So with Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and UAE, these guys are doing a great job. Looking at what Qatar are doing, even after the World Cup, I think they've done a beautiful job of welcoming people. They are doing a beautiful job presently. So you are welcome, visit, and invest. You love it. Yeah. Good day. Please, like I've always clamored, please. I know you love what you're doing. Subscribe to my channel. Love it. I beg, like, be on my channel. You get the best news. I love you guys. Like, comment, share. Some of you come to my inbox, my DM to comment. Yeah, it's good, but sometimes also comment on this social media. It helps my growth. Like, share, please. It's very important you share. I love you guys. So here we go. Welcome to FP1 and qualifying Qatar Grand Prix. Let me first quickly give you an heads up. There have been a lot of comments from people like Lawrence Stroll, Toto Wolff has complained already, and Chris Horner. They've complained about engaging one more team. I remember in my last video in which we dropped yesterday, I told you FIA has approved Andretti, which will be partnering with Cadillac. But Lawrence Stroll is saying, no, F1 is perfect, F1 is great, we don't need another team, it's going to be a distraction, it's not going to work well, this and that. I think we need a new team. We need more drivers to get engaged because it gives us opportunity to get, an African driver and maybe in future get one more team, For me, that's what I'm thinking because I want my own boy, Philip Janos, Ghana, to pave way for Africans in this new generation. Remember, Philip is still out there. He needs our help. Nigerians all over the world, this young man needs our help. He needs us to come together to get him into proper racing. It's an elite sport, and I can tell you, to get into that pace, you need a lot of money. Some races cost a lot. I was looking into some of these things and I can see that it costs a lot. I can tell you in a year it runs into hundreds of thousands. Without paying his mechanics, I was able to have a chat with them. They're unable to go in for a lot of races, and for him to be sharp, he needs a lot of races. He needs to run a lot of races. Please, Nigerians in diaspora, I know most of you are seeing my videos. Please, we need you to support him. His email will be here so I can send him a mail, reach out to him on Instagram. His Instagram ID will also be here. Reach out to him on Instagram. You can also reach out to me if you wish, so we can see how we can get him into racing back. Yeah, he's racing, but he's not racing the way he should race. When there are like 30 races in Europe all through the year and he can only do 4-5 because of the finances, and that 4-5 we are looking at hundreds of thousands. Sometimes they need to rent a car or rent an engine, and they would need to buy their fuel. They need to pay for registration. Those are things they pay for. Their flight, feeding, cart, registration, fueling, a lot of things. So please, we need you. So I go back to what Lawrence Stroll is saying. So they are looking at, they don't want F1 to get another team. That's the major thing. I know it is going to be a very long process because Andretti wants to get into F1 and it's going to be very, very interesting how they'll do. They have 1 year, the remaining 2-3 months of this year, and a whole full 2024 to battle it out. By that, before the end of 2024, in a year's time, we will know what will happen. 100%. It might be in 2 months' time, 3 months' time. Let FIA, Stefano Dominicali, look into it, because Stefano to himself is looking at grumbling like, could this thing be possible? Show my possible, should we do it? But I think Andretti is going to go all out. He's going to do everything he can do to make sure he gets into F1. That guy is stubborn. He will get in there. He has been pushing for years and he will get it. I'm telling you. He wants to be the second American team in F1 and he will get it. That's why he's coming all American. He himself American. The engine supplier and the power unit American. Cadillac. Yeah. So let's see. McLaren. I said earlier in the year that McLaren is looking at having another partnership because Aston Martin from 2025 are partnering with Honda powertrains. They are coming back to F1. They are done with Red Bull. Now, I said it. This trick, Aston Martin, that had good start. I know they will have another better year next year. Now they are coming with Honda powertrain that would now be re-experiencing Formula 1 again. Why would they be re-experiencing? They've been out of Formula 1 for about 2 years now. Now, they have the technology they are building, but now there'll be a rule change in 2025. So 2026 cars, then everything will be new. Now, how will they cope? Because it's a new thing. They need to have been working all through into that group. So it will be a very challenging year for them. So I think Aston Martin should not have, well, it is Aston Martin's problem because I believe they should not have gone into that partnership. But, well, they want to go. So they should go. Am I a Mercedes manufacturer? No. But I think they should have waited. That is the first team that outperformed Mercedes this year. Now, McLaren is outperforming Mercedes. Now, McLaren too is what I'm talking about. They are thinking of going Toyota's way. Hey. Ta-ri-ta-ta-ta-ta. Well, I don't want to say it. Toyota is coming new back after about 20 years out of Formula 1. They are coming back again. They are ill experienced. Guys, McLaren, listen to me. Think about this thing before you go into it. You want to go into it into 2026? Think about it before you go into it. Our people say the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. Now, one thing I love is this. Alpine are bringing upgrades, but one of the upgrades I love is what I talked about yesterday, that they have a partnership with Qatar. Qatar, beg, come now. Come. I'm ready to work with you guys. Saudi Arabia, I'll work with you now. Dubai, I'll work with you. As in, what I love about their new upgrade is their new car. And I told you they may not change delivery on their car, but it's showing that they will change delivery on their helmet, in which I'll see that in first practice. And that new car carry livery, I tell you, that Qatar color on it is massive and it's beautiful. Man, it's beautiful. Now to FP1. So, running like Formula 1 car into FP1. The Ferrari Junior Oliver Bierman, the 18-year-old boy, is set to have his first F1 outing in Mexico and Abu Dhabi. He will be testing the AS car in Abu Dhabi. The breezy, the windy, the dusty, sunny, cloudy, shreddy, freaky, Qatar Grand Prix in Losail. There are clouds of sand on the track. This is the first time the cars will be on track since 2021 Grand Prix. Like I told you in the first video, there has been a lot of changes made to the track. New surface, new combination of asphalt. The track is shining but with a lot of dust from the sand of the dunes in Qatar. Qatar is a lovely place. A lot of changes have been made to the paddock and also to the pit lane. The pit can contain close to 55 cars. Just joking. That pit is so long. It can hold like close to 15 F1 cars or more. But the sun is crunchy to the extreme. 41 degrees this afternoon. Imagine the track temperature will be going into the 50s. It will be so bunny. With the wind going from 32.4 kilometers per hour to 34.5 kilometers per hour. The Mercedes engine showed they loved the sun when the sun was up. In the first 30 minutes, the Mercedes engine were topping the time charts and they were doing well, with George Russell showing his flexes, his toughness. But when the sun came down, the owners of the space, the Alagas, they went back to their position, and the Mercedes engines went back to their own position also. The only Mercedes engine car that really showed he had some muscles to flex was still Fernando Alonso. The McLarens did their best. They showed, they are good. They are going to do something good. But let's see in qualifying how they will do. A lot of drivers complained about the sun entering their eyes, and also, like I told you, there will be lots of track time lap deletion because a lot of drivers, the wind was just taking them out of balance. But as the track rubbers in, because that track looks so slippery, and I think as the track rubbers in the FP1 and towards the qualifying and also tomorrow, the track should look great for Sunday race. And from what we are seeing, qualifying is going to be very, very interesting. And the FP1, a lot of cars improved, but they are still far off last year's time. There are lots of car improvement. Ferrari improved, Red Bull improved, Aston Martin improved. In all, the Red Bull took their commanding lead, and Max Verstappen went into the top position with the two Ferraris right behind him, showing that they have a lot of pace in their catapult to shoot. But I think immediately after the Q1 session, all the cars will go into Parc Fermé. Now, what is Parc Fermé? At that point, no setup changes can be done to the car except for the front and the rear wing can just be adjusted. No other setup changes, no aerodynamic changes can be done on it. This is where I think it is for some teams like Mercedes. They didn't really do well. In the FP1, they didn't really do well. Maybe they have a good setup, they are just sandbagging, but I'm not sure they are really up for it. And it will be a mixed grid in the qualifying sessions. But certainly, I think Max Verstappen will still be on top. The McLaren will come out, show that they are still there. I think the Ferraris are ahead of the Mercedes here. The Mercedes should not just make mouth. They should just do firm. They're not in their league. And I think with the little upgrade that Aston Martin brought, they are still bringing more upgrades. They are looking strong. But I think the Mercedes still has the edge over them. So let's see what happens in the qualifying. But from the results from the FP1, which shows a lot of dominance from the Red Bull, with Max Verstappen topping the time charts, Carlos Sainz coming second, Charles Leclerc third, Alonso fourth, Sergio Perez fifth, and Tsunoda sixth. 2021, the Alpha Tauri showed they have good pace on that same track, with Gasly qualifying and starting, I think, third or fourth in that race, and Tsunoda was in top 10 also in that race. Nico Hülkenberg of the Haas 7, George Russell 8, Piastri 9, Norris 10, Sargent outperforming his teammate in 11th, his teammate Albon 12, Lewis Hamilton 13, Stroll 14th, Ocon 15th, Gasly 16th, Bottas 17th, Zhou Guanyu 18th, Liam Lawson not doing well. He's new on this track. There are like 5 or 6 new drivers on this track. Liam Lawson is new, Nico Hülkenberg is new, Sargent is new, Oscar Piastri is new. Yeah, those are the new drivers. So, but some came out to shine, some didn't shine. But let's see what happens in the qualifying right in this video. But I think qualifying, Max Verstappen, then the McLaren, then the Ferrari. Then after qualifying, we'll be able to tell you how the sprint race, the sprint qualifying and the sprint main race will be. What a wonderful qualifying. So interesting. But first, on this issue of Andretti Cadillac, a lot of the teams are not agreeing to what they are bringing to the table. But what might change the whole situation is if what Cadillac Andretti are bringing to the table. Because now, as an investor, you are looking at keeping your investment, even though whatever you are bringing to the table or whatever you are receiving is not enough, but you are still comfortable where you are. You're not making so much gains. So you are looking at, okay, how can the future be? So when they are now bringing more mouths to feed, I think you'll be confused. You'll be like, hey, what are you guys doing? I'm doing this business to make money. And I think that's going to cause friction and friction between the teams, the FIA, the FOM, and the F1, because the teams will look at what is Cadillac bringing to the table. It will be fun if GM is facing Ford. It will be fun if GM is coming with Cadillac into the sport. It will be fun if Toyota is coming. It will be fun. But they'll be looking at what are they bringing? Are they bringing enough American sponsors? And now, if they're bringing enough American sponsors, in a year or two, will those sponsors not leave if this team is not performing? Andretti is a great man. He's a great manager. He's a great team owner. I don't know how he's going to keep that. Or would they need to increase the buying value, which is 200 million? Because at the time they were like, they might go to 600 million. But for sustainability, will it pay teams like Williams? I remember about 20 years ago, some teams were like, they are leaving. But 4 teams wanted to leave. They had to have a buy-in, like that, for them to sustain. A lot of teams left at the point because it was unsustainable. I've always said it, F1 is an elite sport, it's an expensive sport. So how do this team cope? Body is still like, no. If they are coming in, they need to tender what they are bringing to us. That is what all the 10 teams are saying. We need to see if it is sustainable. If it is not sustainable, I'm not sure they want to bring them in. But I think Andretti knows what they need to do. They know what it takes. FIA wants to bring them. It will be more competitive. But we are looking at how are we going to share the spoil. Money is a rich man's world. And they said money makes the world go round. How will they go about it? We don't know yet. But we know we are going to have more information. Don't worry. Like I told you, qualifying, a lot of lap times will be deleted. It will affect people, and it might be a podium of, wow, you don't know. And it might also be a lot of things will cause it. I told you wind will cause it, and I told you the new tarmac will cause it, and it affected a lot of people. Now in Q1, the Mercedes came out with medium. When they saw that everybody came out on soft and they tried to run, they saw that they have made a mistake, or they have shilati bere. Immediately they ran back to the pit because they know that they have made a mistake. They ran back and went on soft. They were thinking they can keep some soft so that they can use it if they qualify higher. But they saw that it's a mistake. Piam! They jackpot into the pit. They changed to soft. So everybody was on soft. Now, Lewis Hamilton was almost knocked out. It was a fine battle, an interesting battle, but the Lewis Hamilton side of the garage was so poor in that Q1. They didn't help him to be on the track when he was meant to be on the track, and the tire strategy to coming in and coming out really affected him because his teammate was meant to be ahead of him in the run. So that affected him. But he was almost out, but sustained. But the most dominant thing there was Logan Sargent knocked out. He was knocked out by his teammate by just some few tenths, 0.096. How I feel for that boy, as in he really showed his class. Really, in this Qatar Grand Prix, he really showed his class, and he showed that he can do well, he can work, and I think this is the beginning of a great 6 races for him to end the year, and I think he would do well if he's doing this. His teammate Alex Albon knocked him out, so he will be starting 16th on the grid on Sunday. And the usual suspect, Max Verstappen, topping the timesheets in Q1. And looking at the speeds on the straight, we can see that those guys carrying Mercedes engine are fast too. Aston Martin on the straight, not even the Williams this time, Aston Martin on the straight. And what Aston Martin did was they shaved some part of their rear wings, some part of the car to get the right downforce they needed. Just on the straight, but that will not pay them on the corners. But will that help them in the race? That is yet to know, for us to know. But I think it will help them in the race. They are going to struggle in the main race. What Mercedes did was for corners, because there are more fast flowing corners than one single straight. They traded for straight than more corners. So let's see how it works out for both the Mercedes and the Aston Martin during the race. Then the McLarens, second fastest on the race. The two McLarens were so fast. They're even faster than the Red Bull on the straight. Then Red Bull 4th and Hulkenberg for us 4th. Red Bull 4th, Hulkenberg for us 5th. Wow. Now, the lap time delta for the qualifying was 1 minute 49 seconds, which is the benchmark for all the drivers. That you must not go slower than 1 minute 49 seconds. But I think the FIA, they noted Liam Lawson, Lewis Hamilton, Tsunoda, and Charles Leclerc, and they be reviewed after qualifying that they were slower. And they might see that they were slower because they are slowing down for some cars, because naturally they will see the time delta from wherever they are. Everything is connected. Power of connection. That is F1. That's why I said it is an elite sport. Everything that goes on, even to the tires, they can see if it is hotter, if it is at the correct pump rate or airflow. Everything is seen. Everything is just monitored by sensors. It is too monitored, so they can know if you cheated or if not cheated right in the race. That's why they know when to delete lap times. So Q2, the caption for Q2 should be Perez out. But not only Perez out, Sainz out also in Q2. Perez and Sainz were out in Q2 due to two things: lap time being deleted and also the track. Now, why the track? That track is still smooth, very slippery. So if they don't get the right bite and the wind also affect them, they move all around the track and they overextend on the track. Sergio Perez got 2 of his lap times deleted, Carlos Sainz too, but unfortunately they both could not make it into Q3. So in Q2, Tsunoda 11th, Sainz 12th, Perez 13th, Albon 14th, and Hulkenberg qualifying 15th. But the shocker of the Q2 was Hamilton topping the time sheets. Hey, me myself, I was shocked. He topped the time sheets. But going into Q3, we have 2 Alpines, 2 McLarens, and 2 Mercedes going into Q3 this time, with 1 Aston Martin, 1 Red Bull, 1 Alfa Romeo, and 1 Ferrari. Now, almost everyone had lap times deleted, including the champion. He has his lap time deleted, like his own was even more. That was why he could not set another time in Q3. But in Q3, Max Verstappen took the pole position. But that pole position could have been stolen away from him if people like Norris were able to set the right lap time, Piastri or Hamilton were able to get the right lap time in, but they were unable to set the lap times they needed in Q3. So Verstappen setting the right lap time, but on his second stint of run, he could not set another lap time. He had to enter the pit because the wind tossed him around and he lost time. Likewise, Lewis Hamilton too was on a very fast lap, but the wind tossed him around. The 2 McLarens, they had issues though. Lando Norris had 2 of his lap times deleted. Now a confusing grid. Lando Norris was second at first, but while trying to line up for the grid, they told him his lap time had been deleted. So George Russell was promoted to second, while his teammate that was 4th was promoted to 3rd. So Lando Norris knew he would be starting 10th, while his teammate Oscar Piastri was still talking to Naomi Schiff. He got to know that his lap time had been deleted from 3rd, so he would be starting the race 6th. So Lewis Hamilton, that was 5th, was promoted to 3rd. Look at that kind of promotion. Kai. So the grid is starting like this: Red Bull, Max Verstappen, pole position, Russell second, Lewis Hamilton 3rd, Alonso 4th, Charles Leclerc 5th, Oscar Piastri 6th, Pierre Gasly 7th, Ocon 8th, Bottas 9th, and Lando Norris 10th. So that's how the grid will be prepared for tomorrow. But let me tell you again, if you need to visit Qatar, you need to visit Qatar now. That place is very beautiful. They are making a lot of improvements, not just to their track, to the city. That city, aside from the World Cup they've hosted, they've done a lot of transformation. The religion thing has been worked on, and I think they are more accommodating, they are more creative, they are more welcoming, they are more beautiful. Likewise, Saudi Arabia also, because they are all learning that they don't need to hold all this against anybody, as Dubai has opened its borders, opened its culture, its language, its beauty to everybody. So the whole Gulf Coast are doing the same. So you can visit Qatar, you can visit Dubai, you can visit Saudi Arabia, and each of them have their airlines. So you can also purchase tickets from their airline and you enjoy it. Straight, I can tell you that you're going to enjoy it. So lovely that. Let's catch up for the sprint qualifying and the sprint race tomorrow. But predictions for the sprint. Let me give you predictions for the sprint. It's going to be tough and it's going to be fun. But I can tell you, with the pace Mercedes is showing, Lewis Hamilton, pole position for the sprint. Max Verstappen coming third for the sprint, while Lando Norris, second position in sprint qualifying. Then in the sprint race, Lewis Hamilton winning the sprint race. That's a joke, yo! I don't see the Mercedes winning the sprint race, but I think possibly the McLaren could win the sprint race or the Red Bull. But I know that the sprint race on the grid after the whole sprint race will be the Red Bull, Max Verstappen, the Mercedes, Hamilton, and Lando Norris. In what winning order, I don't know, but I think that's how it is going to end, and that is how it's going to start. Up until tomorrow, catch you guys. Okay, we love you. Subscribe, like, share, comment. I love you. Bye. Cheers.
Gibor gives you power. Gibor gives you control. Gibor gives you benefits. Are you an individual or business that uses fuel or gas? Use Gibor to find the best prices across all retail outlets in your city. For users and businesses that buy volumes, Gibor gives you access to credit. Gibor also gives you the ability to track your costs and monitor expenses per car or fleet. Need to improve your costs, enjoy incentives, or track expense? Gibor is the answer. Enjoy 5% discount on your first 5 purchases when you get your next fuel voucher from Gibor. Log on to www.gibor.co to enjoy this. Retail outlets wanted nationwide.
I have a new friend in the house. We are in Nigeria here, West Africa. He provides internet for us. They provide the best internet around the mainland, and I know they are still moving to the highland and they are moving all around Nigeria. But for you to get internet on the mainland, contact Firebrad Telecom Limited. They get you sorted out ASAP. The best cable internet on the mainland, fiber optic, they get sorted out. We talk much about them in the course of some of our videos, but contact them, they get sorted out.
If you're a builder, if you're an art collector, if you have a showroom, Rated is the best place to get the artworks you need for your new buildings, for your art collections, for your showroom, for your exhibition. Rated Art have one of the best murals, mosaic works, and different art patterns in Nigeria presently. And it's somebody that you can communicate with, talks to you, you tell him what you want, and he will bring the reality out for you. Contact Rated Art. His number is right up here. And you can also go on social media links that are pasted right up here. So check out some of his works. Thank you. Teams Gadget. Teams Gadget is for those of you that cannot easily go to the market to get your phones, your laptops, your accessories. Just place a call through. His phone number is there. It gets you the best. It's your shop plug to get you the best phones, accessories, laptops, games, and other accessories for your computer gaming experience. Contact Teams Gadget and you get them for you.